Hello everyone, my name is Harpreet Singh Kundral and I handle the EMC pre-sales business. Today I want to talk about a very innovative technology from EMC Unified Storage line of product, which is VNX, and we are going to talk about something called Fully Automated Storage Sharing, which is currently known as FAST technology with EMC products. And when we talk about these fast technologies, we talk about two major features with EMC VNX, which is the fast cache and fast VP. I've already done this whiteboarding for you so that I can quickly explain what exactly is fast cache and fast VP. So let's go ahead with the fast cache first of all. So if you are aware about the storage technologies, if you are familiar about the normal I/O processing, so you might be knowing that when the host accesses the data, it actually hits the cache of the controller. So we have dual controller as in case of most of the storages, and if we talk about VNX line of product, we call it service processor A and service processor B. This is SPA and SVB. So in case of a normal scenario, when the host tries to access some blocks or data from the storage, it will directly go to the cache first. It will look into the cache whether that data is residing in the cache or not. In case if the data is residing in the cache, it will service the data, it will service the I/O from the cache directly. So in this kind of scenario, the I/O service, the response time is really fast. Obviously, if the cache is bigger and bigger, you will have more number of I/Os serviced from the cache. So in this case, we call it a cache hit in the storage industry. Whereas in another scenario, it can happen that an I/O is requested from the storage and goes to the cache, whereas the I/O is not found in the cache. So in that case, we are not left with any other choice to just look for the data onto the hard disk. Now, all of you know that hard disk is a mechanical device as compared to the cache memory. Hard disk takes a lot of time to fetch the data from the platters. So it has to go to the hard disk, it will again copy the data back to the cache, and then the I/O will service. So in this case, it's a cache miss scenario where the response time will not be as fast as the cache hit scenario. Now how to solve this? Now with fast cache, this problem is easily solved. What we can do is, we can put a pair of EFDs, which are flash drives. Now why we call it EFDs? Because these are enterprise flash drives from EMC. These are solid state drives which are having 20 times more performance than the hard drives. So we can put flash drives in between the cache and the actual drives of the storage system, and we can assign that as the part of the cache. So just imagine if the normal VNX comes with a 16 GB of cache, and if I add around 200 GB of flash drives, so immediately, and I enable this fast cache feature, so immediately the effective cache what you have in the system becomes 216 gig. And just imagine what kind of service response your application can have if you suddenly increase your cache from 16 GB to 216 GB. So in VNX line of series, we can go up to 2 TB of fast cache. With the 7500 series, the maximum we can go is 2 TB of fast cache as the capacity of the cache. So in certain cases, like applications like SQL and some of the databases, this fast cache feature has increased the performance by sometimes 10 times, and in some of the cases 15 times as well. Also, there is one use case scenario where we have VDI solutions like virtual desktop environment, and especially in the start of the day, let's say you have 20,000 or 10,000 desktops which boots from the SAN immediately at the same time. That kind of I/O can be absorbed by the flash here. So keeping the time limit in the consideration, I wanted to say that fast cache as a feature can be used in multiple scenarios, and it can really boost your performance to an extreme level. Okay. Now we'll move on to fast VP. Fast VP is also a unique way of using the flash drive in the system. Now with research companies like IDC and Gartners and all, people are able to find that in any data center environment, you have 3% of data which is actually a hot data, which you frequently access every day. Whereas 27% of the data is considered as warm data, which is like you might access it in a week's time, maybe couple of times. And 70% of the data, which is a very huge part of the data, is actually just cold data, which is not accessed at all for months sometimes. So in that case, does it make sense to put all of this data on to a high performance drive like SAS drive, 15K drives? I don't think it makes sense. And also, we cannot ask the administrators to look for these different patterns of data and then shift the data onto the different tiers. For an administrator, it is very difficult to do that. It's nearly impossible. So what if you can do this automatically? So the word stands that it's a fully automated storage tiering. So with VNX, what we can do is we can give you a mixed configuration, mixed storage configuration with flash, SAS and NLSAS, where we can put 3% of the total capacity as flash, 27% of the total capacity can be configured with SAS, and rest of the 7% of the total capacity will be configured with NLSAS. Once the configuration is done and the capacities are allocated to the pools, so this fast VP feature, once we do the mix of flash, SAS and NLSAS, will automatically migrate the data or move the data, when I say that, from one tier to another tier without any manual intervention. So in case, let's say, your data was a cold data and from a couple of months it was not getting used, but suddenly in couple of days the data access has increased, and as per the fast VP policies, now this data now is considered as warm data, so it will automatically move this particular block, or may I say sublun in case of EMC terminology, which is the size of 1 GB, will be moved to the second tier. And because of this automatic data movement for the application, the 3% of the hot data which actually requires a performance will be always serviced from the flash drive. And also, EMC wants to give you the control over the policies which you make for these kind of automated tiering. So you can start with the lowest available tier if you feel that the data which you are managing is not becoming hot ever in the future. So you can start with lowest available tier, or you can have an auto tier policy where you will let EMC storage decide where to tier the data. And if you have the application which is totally a very critical and a performant application in your environment, so one might ask that what kind of applications will benefit from these kind of features. So when we talk about Oracle OLTP environment, or any kind of OLTP environment, which is the best suited application for these kind of features. And whereas if you see that some of the use cases with EMC, we can combine both fast cache and fast VP feature in order to improve the performance by 20 times sometimes. So do look into both the features, and if you can read about it, or if you want any further help in understanding the features, you can contact us anytime, and we would love to give answers to all kind of queries you have. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and stay tuned for another videos on EMC technologies. Thank you very much.